So going to look at the press game, post game conference with the Giants, and Daboll said he doesn't commit to a week 2 starter. I'm beginning to think that the Giants organization is willing to die on this hill of coaching. Let's rewind back to a couple of years before Daboll when he came in. Understand this. Daboll got the job on some sneaky stuff. Remember, the ownership interviewed Brian Flores to fit the Rooney rule, but already gave Daboll the job. So he already came in with this. He passed up on Jaden Daniels. He got rid of Danny Dimes. He got rid of Saquon Barkley. And now you're thinking about not starting Russell Wilson when you did not ever put Russell Wilson in a position to win this game. The blocking was abysmal. The route combinations were horrible. He never really had an outlet. And he did just enough. He was your leading rusher. Russell Wilson was your leading rusher in this game. He didn't throw a pick, right? He like Malik Neighbors, he was getting doubled all game. He really wasn't getting open as well, too, to a point where they had to throw Hail Mary balls. Now, I say this. Washington did not play their best ball, and they beat this Giants team comfortably, all right? So understand that, like, the Giants coaching is – and I had high expectations for the Giants, but I didn't expect their coaching to be this bad. Now, Washington single-handedly just beat the brakes off the Giants, and they didn't play their best ball. So their ceiling, I still think it's the same, but this Giants team is awful. And this Giants defense was pretty subpar. Though they sacked Jaden Daniels 3 times, I think they did keep him in the game for a little bit. You only gave up 7 points in the second half. This Washington team that used to go for it on 4th down, this game did not go for it as much on 4th down at all. Like Washington who was like 80-90% last year, didn't go for it on 4th down at all this year. And when you talk about pressure, playing not to lose versus playing that you have nothing to lose versus you have something to lose. I think Washington is starting to think like that. Like, hey, we can't go for it on 4th down every single time. I do think the running game is something that's going to have to pick up. They did not run the ball. I guess they did decent. They ran the ball well they needed to, but Jane Downs was spearheaded. I think they ran the ball very, very well, actually. I felt like there was a lot of big runs. Of course, adding Debo in. I don't think I think what Washington needs is a downhill runner like Robertson. But this offense, if they're going to run, you're going to focus more on the spread type, allowing Jane Downs to be a part of this integral running game. I think you're going to have to get some more elaborate when you get towards the season. But all in all, Washington beat the Giants comfortably and didn't play their best ball. But Daboll, he's an idiot. Okay, let me stop. Daboll, he's not the problem. If you look at the numbers and say, okay, well, we're going to think of a new quarterback. Danny Dimes against the Dolphins, Danny Dimes against the Dolphins went 22 for 29, had a tub, and then had 2 touchdowns on the ground and was 7 for 26. They're starting to begin to see a denominator that's the reason why they fail. And the ownership is going to sit on this hill and die on this hill of not thinking they're responsible for what's going on in New York. Like, if I'm in New York, I want to get out of there. They shipped Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson, they're like, I don't know if he's the quarterback. Your leading rusher, running back, had 24 yards. Devin Singletary had 9 yards. Your leading rusher was your quarterback, and you're thinking about benching him? Because you want to start Dart? You're going to put Dart in a worse situation. You're going to put Dart in a worse situation, or he's not going to succeed. Like, you're going to throw him in there with your offensive line. Like, the amount of times he was pressured. Russell Wilson was pressured, and he had to throw the ball away. It wasn't because of him. There was no options. Nobody was open. So, Daboll, I don't, maybe the biggest comment I've seen in coaching, but, him saying that he's not committed to a quarterback. You got Crab Legs on the roster, who's number 3, actually. He said, we're going to go home and look at our game. And when asked if he's going to start starting Dart next week. Why would you throw Dart next week? Now, let me see who the Giants play next week. And be honest, this game is not Russell Wilson's fault. Like, this is 110%, the coaching staff fault problem. And Daboll is probably the worst. I don't know. I gotta see who the Giants play next. They're not going to be the Cowboys. You got the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. I don't see a win for the Giants because of their coaching. I don't. If you're here's the thing, you can say, hey, look, we can fix maybe the options we're giving our quarterback, and maybe I don't think they're going to do that. But even if they did, you got the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Chargers next. I don't see a win in their future for the next 4 weeks. Maybe the Saints. Then you got the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles again. Like the Giants need to just fire the ball. Do what you should have done a long time ago. Not hire the guy, but fire the guy and hire Brandon Flores. They can't stop the run. Even though I feel like the Washington's run could have been a lot more sturdy and steady with more downhill running. You couldn't stop the run. And your secondary was just, I mean, literally it's the first game of the season. I'm not going to overreact, too much. But, the Giants, there's a lot you need to work on going back to this. I mean, your defense did what they could, but your offense, you thought just throw Russell Wilson there and make it happen? No, you got to give him options. You drafted Dart, who to be honest with you, I don't think Dart's that guy in the league. I don't think he's going to come and revive anyone. You got rid of Danny Dimes and he's doing well. Those are common denominator and people should be starting to realize it's 110% Daboll. It's 110% him.